Hey everyone, welcome back to Elemental Cartomancy. I'm excited to come on and do this video because I'm showing you a deck that I've been waiting on for a long time. And in fairness, I've already got the deck. This is just a new version of it coming out. You'll have seen from the title that I am talking about the Shining Tribe Tarot by Rachel Pollack. Now, this is the older version that I have, and this is the new version that has just been released. And I just received this in the post yesterday. So today is going to be a side by side. I'm going to compare the two. I'm going to try and make this a reasonably quick video, but to be honest, I've got a feeling it's going to be a long one. I've not got my face in the corner because I want you to be able to see what I'm showing you. We don't need to see my reactions to it, to be honest. You'll hear my voice in the ether. So these are the boxes. This is the box of the older version that I have now. This version, I believe, is from the early 2000s. Copyright 2001. There we go, right there. This is actually a gift from my good friend Justin Michael. He has a channel called Justin Michael. You should check him out. That was a bit of dust that I brushed off of the box there. It's not because I don't use the deck, I absolutely do, but the deck and the book are on the shelf beside me, whereas the box, this is just like the empty box that stays up on the shelf, and I've not used it in a while. So you can see that it is one of these old style cardboards. I think this is Llewellyn, isn't it? Yeah, Llewellyn. An old style Llewellyn cardboard box. It's got one of these things inside it. This is like a box that you can keep the cards in if you want. But I've got a bag that I keep the cards in. The new box on the sorry, I should probably kind of show you what it says, show you all the sides, all this lovely stuff that we like to see. So these are all the sides. On the back, so it says the stories depicted in the Shining Tribe Tarot reach deep within the psyche and resonate with our most essential dreams and desires. I highly recommend this deck, whose essence is a combination of the power and joy of the life force. And that's a quote from Mary Kay Greer. Kathleen Matthews, the deeper levels of creation run through this pack with a delightful freedom and wise love. So we have some of the images, and down below it says, "Join the Shining Tribe." So this is a quote directly from Rachel. "All of us who work with tarot form a kind of tribe, one whose roots go back many thousands of years before the actual appearance of tarot cards. This is the tribe of diviners, those special magicians, shamans, psychics, and visionaries who used cards or sticks or trees or stones or shells to communicate with the gods." It says, drawn from the legacy of 50,000 years of human encounters with the divine, renowned tarot scholar Rachel Pollack has created and a revised and expanded version of the Shining Woman Tarot. Based upon tribal and prehistoric art from around the world, as well as the Kabbalah, Jungian psychology, and the wisdom and tradition of the tarot, the Shining Tribe Tarot is truly global. I keep adding on words and mixing up words, don't I? The full-size book included in this kit is a comprehensive guide to working with the deck. It includes fresh, insightful interpretations, original poetry for each card, guidance on caring for and using the cards, and a selection of spreads. So that's the old box. Now, the new box is much sturdier. It's one of these sturdy, boxes that we get nowadays that keeps the cards nice and safe. It's got a kind of a hinge open like this. So it's not magnetic or anything, but to be honest, doesn't really need to be. it stays closed unless you're trying to open it, really. Um, this is the inside. It does have these kind of a cardboard inserts that I know lots of people don't really gel with. They don't really bother me, to be honest, to keep the cards in place, which is what they need to do. Um, on the inside here, I think this is a bit of a... So this is kind of a it's Rachel's quote, but it's reworded a wee bit. It says, welcome to the tribe, one whose roots go back many thousands of years before the tarot even existed. A tribe of diviners, magicians, shamans, psychics, and visionaries who use cards, sticks, trees, stones, or shells to communicate with the gods. And then it adds on, herein you will encounter prehistoric images from the very origins of art. Our shining tribe takes us back to these ancestors. And then on the outside, by the way, I'm not going to go into. So you'll have seen that it said it there that this was a remake of the Shining Woman Tarot. You can look up walkthroughs of the Shining Woman Tarot and some information on, why the name was changed and all that. So this isn't the first edition of the deck. This is a remake of the Shining Woman Tarot. So this is how the box is, and it's now been made by Weiser books. So the back says, from the renowned author of 78 Degrees of Wisdom, this deck and guidebook invites readers to join the shining tribe of diviners and take the timeless sacred journey of self-discovery. Drawn on a legacy of 50,000 years of humanity's encounters with the divine, renowned tarot scholar Rachel Pollack created the Shining Tribe Tarot. These cards are steeped in symbolism drawn from culturally diverse systems, including Neolithic rock art, Native American and African shamanism, Aboriginal art, the Kabbalah, Jungian psychology, and the traditional tarot. The Shining Tribe was previously published in 2001. This rectified Weiser Books Deluxe Edition includes colour corrections to the card art as directed by Rachel Pollack and 5 new cards not available in the previous edition. The accompanying full colour book has been revised and expanded. Okay, so that takes us nicely on to look at the books. Now, I could make an entire video mapping out the differences between the two books. This is going to be a very quick overview. So it's the backs and the fronts and backs of the books, the spines, and you can kind of get an idea there as to thickness, the size difference of the books. So it does look as though this book is a lot bigger in terms of thickness and size. However, what I've noticed is that the size of the writing in this book is a bit bigger than in this one. I've not been through everything with a fine-tooth comb to see, what the differences are. I've had a quick browse through, and I've, just from a glance, I can notice a fair few differences in like kind of the initial pages and stuff. From what I can see in terms of the information that we get on the cards, I think that they're much of a likeness. What I would say though is, as you can see with this book, we get black and white depictions of the cards. You can kind of see how it's laid out there. So we get some information on the cards, where the arts come from. Then we get divinatory meanings and reversed meanings. And let's see, that was the Ace of Stones. So let's see if we can find that here. So the Ace of Stones, information on the card, divinatory meanings and reverse meanings. You see that there. So, like I say, I think the information is mostly the same, but as you can see, we have colour depictions of the cards here. The book itself is colour coded, so you can see it better there. So the purple here is the vision cards, which replaces the court cards. Again, I'm not going to talk too much about that. That's maybe something for another video. I might actually have explained the difference between vision cards and court cards in my walkthrough of this deck, to be honest. The green is our stones, which is our discs or pentacles. Yellow is birds, which is swords, the air suit. Blue, water, cups, and which is rivers in this deck. And then this kind of an orange colour is our trees, which is the element of fire, our wands suit. And then you can see that the pink is the major arcana. So that's all that I'm really going to touch on in terms of the books. If anyone particularly wants a separate video, mapping the differences between the two books, then let me know. I can always look into doing that. Okay, let's look at the decks. So right away we can see the new deck. So this is the older deck. This is the new deck. You can see the difference in the backs right away. Let me zoom this in so as we can get a better look at the images. In terms of the size difference, the newer deck is bigger. Okay, so you can see there's a significant difference there. This is, I would say this is good old fat. I mean, it's Llewellyn, but it's actually thicker than your standard Llewellyn cardstock. Still really good for riffle shuffling, but it's not your kind of a thin cardstock like we see, for instance, in the Raven's Prophecy Tarot or Everyday Witch Tarot. Those decks have that thinner cardstock, which I love because I'm a riffle shuffler, but I know a lot of people find it a bit too thin. This, on the other hand, is thicker, so I'll maybe show you a difference in the thickness of the decks. So you can see that the Weiser deck, the new deck, is a fair bit thicker. Let me see if I can do it this way. So a fair bit of difference there. So it's bigger, it's thicker. If you have the Weiser RWS tarot, the cardstock here is pretty similar to this, I would say. In fact, it's, apart from that. See, I think this deck, this one here, more of a standard size. So the Shining Tribe is, you can't really see there. Oh, there we go. So the Shining Tribe is still bigger, but the cardstock is the same. It's that kind of a silky, satiny type of cardstock. Let me see. So the only other thing to mention is that the Weiser deck, the new deck, does come with 5 additional cards, which is Rachel's artwork, and that wasn't included in the Llewellyn edition, this edition. So let me just show you these 5 cards. So they are Portrait of Albert, who was Rachel's Fox Spirit Guide. So I suppose kind of it goes better that way, doesn't it? We have the Knowledge in Life card. The Sphinx in Eden card. We have the Saint Teresa card and the Tiamat card. Let me see if I can somehow fit these in. So each of these represents a suit, an element. So the Spirit Guide is the element of spirit. which is the major arcana. The knowledge and life card is fire, which is the suit of trees, which is quite apt here. The Sphinx in Eden, um, water, so suit of rivers. Saint Teresa is the suit of birds, and Tiamat, the goddess of chaos, is the suit of earth. So these are the additional cards that we get with the new version of the deck. And finally, we come to the comparison. Now, I will try and keep this quick. What are we at just now? We are at 15 minutes. I'll try and be reasonably quick, but I'm going to talk through this because, as you can see right away, there are differences, and I kind of want to chat about them. So, for instance, in the full card here, which is where we start, we can see that her face has been coloured in this kind of a fleshy colour. The sky has changed from pink to white. It's almost as though the sky and the colour of the sky and the colour of the face and the skin has been swapped around, isn't it? You can see the mountains are darker in the new deck. The landscape is yellow here, but it's more brownish here. So yeah, that's the fool. The magician, again, the sky is white in the magician card. And we never really talk much about the difference in like the titles or anything, but that's going to become more apparent when we see the minor arcana. But just so that you can see that the vertical line here that separates the number from the the name of the card is actually pink, but my light's not picking up the colour very well. So yeah, you can see some significant, like this was pink, it's now blue. The colour of the bird has changed. Magician himself hasn't changed too much, although there's more a distinction here at the kind of a collar. Our High Priestess. So this is beautiful. This is a solid light blue colour in the background before, whereas now it's kind of a almost looks like watercolour washed blue, if that makes any sense. We can see that the vibrancy of her I can't remember what the name of her dress is. That's terrible. I should know because I actually painted this card. So I should not that actual, like I painted my own image of it. I did it live, you can see it. So you can see like the blues are darker than they are here. This colour of the snake is also darker and it's more vibrant against the kind of we can see that it's shining, so we can. And the fish is slightly darker as well. But yeah, I really like the new colours. The Empress, the hills have been darkened. Browns are a wee bit more chocolatey, a wee bit more vibrant. But other than that, sort of very similar. The Emperor. Sky's a wee bit less blue in the Emperor. See the colour of the ground has been changed, but his robes as well. On his necklace, so that's gone from pink to this blue colour, which the camera doesn't pick it up very well. Let me hold it closer. There we go, that's better. Tradition. Quite similar. Again, the sky's gone from pink to white. It's funny, the camera, in some instances, the camera is picking up the changes more than what my naked eye does. And in some instances, the changes are more obvious to the eye than they are on the camera. The lovers, both quite similar. Colour the wings are more pink here, more purple here. The chariot, oops, again the background has been changed to white. There is actually a kind of a, again if I hold it close you might be able to see it better. No, you can't, it just looks white, doesn't it? So there's a very faint kind of a bluish wash to the background, but it's just shown up white on camera. Other than the background though, and the behind the cross here on this kind of a, I'm not actually sure what this is. I'd need to read the book again. But if it's kind of like a belt, so if it's a belt, then this would be the buckle. But behind the cross on the buckle, that's changed. Strength card. See, I've never actually noticed this before, but along the bottom there, that pattern is what we see on the old box around the box. That's quite cool. The hermit. Again, the sky. Spiral of Fortune. So this is a kind of a brownish orangish colour in the background here, whereas here it's like white with a slightly pink wash. So you can tell that it's not quite white, but it's hard to tell on camera what the actual colour is. Justice. The colour of the mountain. It's very different. This right pillar is more vibrant here in the Weiser edition. The water is darker. The Hanged Woman. So the sky is different. The colour of the woman's skin is actually, quite similar. It appears a wee bit brighter here than what it does here, but it looks like they've kind of just made the line work on this Hanged Woman a bit thicker, like the black outline, and it makes it more, because see how like it's quite hard to make out her features here, whereas it's easier to see like her face here. So it just that makes it a bit clearer, which is nice. It's a nice touch. Death. Something very Hannibal Lecter about this death card, both because of the moth on the chest. The Silence of the Lambs film was famous for that death's head moth. Acherontia Styx, I think I want to say it was called, but I'm not sure. But also the face, the mask. Of course, we have this kind of a, always makes me think Pandora's box, actually. The colours are quite similar, I would say. Temperance. A bit more texture in the water here. And in the sky, again, appears white on camera, but I wonder if I turn this light off, is it going to be better or worse in terms of, I see, you can kind of see, it's better from making out, the subtleties, so that, like the kind of a yellow wash in the background, whereas this is just kind of a solid yellow in the background here. But I feel as though with the light on, we pick up on, the solid colours a bit better. The Devil. So this is more blue here, whereas this is more green, I would say, more greeny blue. Tower. These are very similar. Lot more texture, and this triangle or upside down triangle. Star. So the colours have been changed in the. Is this a pool of water she's standing in? It's gone from pink to blue, which if it is a pool of water, that would make sense. We can also see that the door here has gone from pink to blue. There's quite a lot that's they've changed a few of the kind of a pinkish colours to blue, haven't they? Again, the line work in the star is a wee bit clearer in this one. So that's obviously, that they've paid attention to that. The moon, darker sky here. This more kind of a purplish colour. Just makes it more vibrant. It's lovely. The sun. So we had a kind of a bluish colour in the background here, whereas that has changed to solid white in this card. So the way you're seeing this is the way that I see it in person. This is just solid white. Yeah, the colours, the rest of the colours are maybe, well, this is more yellow, this is more brown. The kind of a, I don't know if that's meant to be a river or, but colours are actually a bit darker in this sun than what they are here, aren't they? Awakening. Again, solid kind of a lime green colour here. This is more a textured background. Changing the buildings have changed colour. And so the person in the middle on the Llewellyn deck, the older deck, it's kind of harder to make out their legs. So at a glance, it looks as though they're like behind the body of water, whereas in the Weiser deck, they've made it clearer that the person is standing in line with the other two. And then our beautiful shining woman, the world card. So it's interesting because in the Llewellyn deck, there's obviously more colour in these bits around the sides, whereas here it's just blue, red, blue. So they've taken away, well, I suppose that the line in the very centre is a kind of a more orangey line, but they've definitely taken away some of the colours that were in this, in this card, and made this a bit plainer. I don't know if that's so that our Shining Woman stands out more as the more kind of a colourful, the feature of the card. She's automatically where her eyes are drawn to, whereas here, it's a bit busier. There's lots more going on. But yeah, stunning. Okay, so we're on to the minors now. We've got the trees. Maybe try and go a wee bit quicker through these so that this doesn't end up being too long. We're at half an hour now. So background, the sky is different. Again, sky from pink to white. They've done that quite a lot. So I think we'll probably see that continuing through the deck. The grass is more textured here. Beautiful. 3 of trees. 4. It's much more vibrant orange, whereas this is a kind of a very pale colour. The trees are much more shining in this edition than what they are here. In fact, they're not shining at all here, really, are they? No, well, they kind of are. It's just harder to see. 5. Much darker sky here than what there is here. 6. Forest of Souls itself. So you can see here we get in the title we get 6 of trees, whereas here it's just 6 and then this vertical line and trees. It's taking away the blue. There is a kind of a blue wash again. 7 of trees. So this is the only card that Rachel signed that I can find anyway. But I'm pretty sure that's right. Because I've spoken to other people about it. See, she signed it down at the bottom. You can also see the kind of a yellow wash, as opposed to the solid yellow background there. The spine, what I'm calling the spine, is more kind of a yellowish. Eight of trees. 9. 10. The place of trees. 'The knower'. We can more clearly see this green outline that the river has. This body of water that flows through, whereas here it's more subtle and harder to pick up on camera. I also like that this appears more golden in this edition. This part that run, this part of her body, whereas it appears more yellowish here. It reminds me of the I always forget what it's called. The Japanese, mending pottery with gold. The gift of trees, more texture to the background here. It's lovely. And our speaker. Bird suit, which is the swords. So again, more texture. Two of birds. The 3 is brighter. 4 of birds. 5. Okay, they've actually darkened this up a lot. I think the bright colours worked well. 6. The 7 of birds. The 8. The volcano waiting to go off. That's just how I see it. That's not necessarily what Rachel's depicted. The 9. And the 10. Much brighter colours in the 10, although her dress is much darker. And again, the vision card. So the The vision cards don't really translate well. Well, they don't translate obviously to our traditional courts, but the place is roughly the page. The knower would be the knight. The gift is the queen. And our speakers are our kings. Again, some of the colours are darker here, and I feel as though these kind of breastplates or whatever they are, they worked well there. They stood out, whereas they're harder to see in the Weiser edition. The bird is depicted on the actual face on the mask. Our rivers is our cups, so that's our water suit. We have the ace, the landscape, the kind of a more grassy green, and the Llewellyn more kind of a yellowy goldeny colour, and the Weiser. 2, 3, totally different approach here. This pink background has been changed to this kind of a yellowish golden. The green is darker here than what it is here. 4. It's funny because as soon as I got this deck, I shuffled it and I used it to read. And this came up, and one of the other cards that came up was the Judgment card. So, and next to the Awakening card, it's called in this. In fact, this is it here. It's this card on the box. And next to our, like where it came up in the spread, this actually reminded me of the Angel on the Awakening card. Whereas, and I drew that link between those cards and the spread, but this, on the other hand, doesn't make me think of that Angel at all. So that was a correspondence, or a link that I was able to draw on the new deck that I don't think I would have drawn in the old one if I'd done the exact same spread with this. So it just goes to show how something as subtle as colour change can make a big difference on your readings. 5 of Rivers, and this is the image that we see on the front of the new box. 6, 7, 8, or 9. Again, on the Llewellyn deck, the blues of the water is much more vibrant, and it makes it more obvious that it is water. Whereas here it's much. I've actually got to look at it quite closely, even in person, to see that there is a blue hint to these. So I think it was done quite well on here. It's not as easy to see that it's water coming out on this card. Love the background though. But just the darker colour makes it harder to make out what you're looking at, I think. 10 of Rivers. This is nice, there's more texture here. The place. knower, gift, and speaker. And finally we have our stones suit. So aces or twos. Threes. Or fours. Or fives. Six. Sevens. Eights. Nines. The tens. It's nice, so it's much more vibrant in terms of the landscape and the mountains and stuff. Place of stones. The knower of stones. The gift of stones. And finally, the speakers. Okay, so I'm probably not going to do a sample reading, but I will just quickly let you see how this deck shuffles, because the size overhands nicely enough. And it riffle shuffles quite well as well. Not as well as the Llewellyn, whoops, but it riffles just fine. So yeah, that was the comparison. Let me know in the comments which one you prefer. This is now out of print, I believe, but the Weiser edition is available. I got it from Witness Emporium, so if you're in the UK, then definitely get it from Cheryl. But yeah, this is widely available, so it is. It's on the mass market. So thank you so much for watching, folks. Take care, and I shall see you all later. Bye bye.